We'll go to the start. And hang on, pause. How do we enter this? So I assume
I have no idea.
Oh.
Because it's not, we don't have the chapter available yet.
Okay, so this is chapter 5.
Yeah. This is the whole point of the story in 10-2, generally speaking, is Frax attacking the tree and we're fighting him.
Okay.
Oh, Steve, nice. So
Attacking the tree.
So here we go.
Oh!
Well done, champion.
Hang on. I'm sorry. I have problems.
Oh yeah, we're gonna put up that quality, boy.
I have problems.
Oh, small triangle goes.
Well done, champion. Now we must.
Uh-oh. Does sound like, you know, Randy when he's like, son.
Your reign is finished, Alexstrasza.
Oh no.
You once fought for an ideal, Varrock. Now, you merely seek power.
Yes. And you are in my way.
Amir Drasil will never be yours. Your obsession will destroy you.
Oh, this is your end, Alexstrasza. The Dragon Queen dies
There we go.
alone.
I am not alone.
What?
Do you not see? All of Azeroth stands united against you.
TFW really have to make it worthy of the final patch and try too hard.
It is time to end this. We will all burn together.
Defenders of the dream!
Oh!
Do not let him escape.
Oh! Oh! Matt! Bottle opener! Bottle opener!
You still have my bottle opener?
What? Oh, fuck
You didn't give me
no.
my keys back.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so here's the deal. Until, like, that was going good. It then very suddenly was not going good. That was a significant turn in quality. And I think a lot of that. Okay. Here's the thing. I can immediately see how this would have been good. Because the way you do this is you have our characters be like, this is a trap we're going to spring. We're going to spring a trap. So Alexstrasza goes and, you know, is the bait or whatever. And then she shows a degree of bravery in being the bait. Then you get him in, and then, you know, maybe you have, like, you know, 3 lines of dialogue too many. We're like, come on, Frack, you really should have just killed her now if you were, like, you know, actually like that. The bit that didn't work here, right, was the orchestral swell. The orchestral swell didn't help. Guys, you can't just be like, and now we're going to play the theme. Doesn't work. No. You can't do that. It's pretty embarrassing, you know? So I think the problem there is just how freaking goofy it is. But again, this is probably made by, and I don't want to... Okay. The Endgame, Avengers The Endgame portal scene is the most embarrassing thing I've ever watched. I see that, I'm like, I cannot believe adults watch this. If this was a Saturday morning cartoon, I would still think this is very cringe. The whole, like, let's slowly have the heroes appear in a humongous CGI fuckfest in a rubbish-looking battlefield that looks awful and fake, and be like, it's the music, you know! It's the music!
It's certainly a far cry from when the winged hussars arrive. Like, it's not quite the idea of the cavalry over the hill in your final moment or in your most dire need. It's none of that, right?
Yes, like your Rohirrim situation works in context. The Rohirrim situation, Matt hasn't seen Return of the King. And also, all you nice friends at BlizzCon that I met who haven't seen Lord of the Rings, come on, man, you're all playing WoW. How are you playing WoW and haven't seen the Lord of the Rings? It's insane. Anyway, I think that they're... okay. So you know when something's a good idea, but it's stilted, and it doesn't come across well. I think that the plan here is basically fine. However, the subtext is that she has friends, and that's why we win. And that is the core point. So I have questions here. Like, how did she know that they were there and going to save her ass? Because the very start of this cinematic, right, is she gets wrecked. You know, the champion! Heal the wounds! Okay, so...
Why'd you go back to her? Anyway, no.
This wasn't intentional.
This is the problem.
Did she
with
just let herself
lacking,
get... Yeah, we don't have the context.
Yeah, so that might be like... it might be conceptually a little bit better because it was like kind of planned and stuff. But even... And this is the problem of having stuff data mined where it just ruins all context. There's a world where this could have not been quite as annoying.
Yeah.
But,
Is Lillian there just to be there?
Yeah, so... Because this opening bit is fine.
Oh, it's great.
Outside of the dialogue being a bit stiff and
the dialogue's a bit stiff.
Generic, Amir Giselle will never be yours.
Okay,
that kind of sucks.
As is tradition.
If he just started swinging at her and she was dodging because he's Farak and he's lost his mind, he's like, I'm going to kill you.
What you should do here is some menace. Like Jon Snow and the big white-eyed walker man in the Hard Home episode where Jon he just is like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm nothing without my internal monologue. Book Jon. Good. Show Jon. Less good, but anyway. Yes, what if you're right? And you know that, like, you know, very, like, this is hardcore and cool music that they tried to play when Sylvanas was just having fun with Bolvar.
Ah, yes.
Right? You do some dread music and, you know, maybe she gets out of that. Maybe you show her failing to go back into her dragon form to escape, and maybe she's like actually vulnerable.
Even he just goes, there's a ring of shadow flame, you're trapped. Anything like that.
Or that, yeah. I think the bit about this that is challenging, and I don't know if because like from what I understand, like, I mean, I thought Infinity War was, all things considered, good. Because in fairness to them, very hard thing to pull off. You know, something that's that long with that many characters, like, respect. And Endgame actually did have many really good moments, you know, and Robert Downey Jr. being good at doing an act certainly helps. But probably the worst part of Infinity War is like the big portal scene, because it's just so embarrassing. And like, I got the point of the portal scene, but it just feels, you know what, it just feels like you've just got all the things that I know and put them in a big CGI scene. Nothing looks real, you know, and you have a situation where, like, what is this battle? This battle is just fucking CGI doohickeys, you know? Like, the worst of just, because the thing that everyone clowns in the superhero movies for is, like, they need their big CGI shit show at the end. And usually it's like, oh my God, this was a Marvel movie that had, like, a good bit at the end, not a bad bit. You know the way those movies are generally, like, the end is kind of the weaker part?
Yeah, because they do all the setup and then they have the climax and then they draw it out for 30 minutes and you're like, why?
Or if it's like, fucking remember, what was it called? Black Panther.
Oh, fuck, that was...
God, the end...
For everything that movie did right, it shot itself.
It really shot itself at the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I keep it rolling there. Just obviously with the dialogue off. because. So yeah, Alex Straza.
And obviously I get like
I don't know.
budget concerns, but he's just standing there pointing and going.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with all that. The bit that gets me is just how bad
smug.
Alex Straza's.
I am not alone.
I would say performance, but performance is actor plus director.
Yeah.
So Thrall throws his axe, which we all
Again.
assume that he picked up after the whole Helga incident.
Yeah.
But like, that's fine. But the thing is, like, is this her purposefully getting caught? Because she's in a lot of pain, and she turns to the player.
Give me a second. Dwanker said with the super, I played the BlizzCon demo. The context is we're destroying barriers so allies can come help, then Frack attacks after we succeed.
Well, you see, that does help me. That does
helps
help
a
the
little
situation.
bit.
So,
Except for all the allies that show up.
our problem here, right? Our problem here is the edit. Because
Not just baby.
no, I know, but the edit is the final. Obviously, it's different in games, but in a way, the edit is the final, edit of the script. And I think that the timing of some of those shots could have been a lot better. I think the largest problem are two things: Alex Straza's delivery and playing the Dragonflight theme. You know, the same as like every time you go dragon riding, you're like, could you please stop trying to juice this same emotion? You could have played this music the first time I dragon rode. You shouldn't have played it again. Because
Yeah. No, I think like the thing.
that's fair. Endgame was more of a deserved culmination.
Yeah.
Because yes, a lot of these characters have been involved in the expansion, but not heavily in an A plot sense.
Yeah, a lot of these. Well, I mean, that's fine. Because this is the part that annoyed me the most. What's Thrall doing here? What's Jaina doing here? They've not been here at all. Why are they here?
And like Khadgar's been there, but not in a way where we've been talking to him properly.
And alright, so okay. I'll show us a little later, but Bane's there, right?
And Tyrallion, King of the Alliance.
Yeah, do you know what Bane does? He doesn't have a fucking ranged weapon, does he?
He stands.
Yeah.
He just
Centaur. Okay, sweet. What?
It's
What?
this. Here's the bit that screwed it.
Why is Mekatork here with
Okay.
the expedition?
Marvel fans,
The expedition.
do you guys think it was a bit too much, that bit in Age of Ultron at the very start, where, the camera moves?
And I don't want to frame by frame because it's unfair, but like stuff's intended for
You see the way they do the thing where the camera goes around as everybody plays their, I'm about to start my, it's, the way like they have your intro animation in a competitive game. It's like everyone does that in the Avengers movie. But then in the next one, they're like, oh my God, the Avengers have already assembled. And so, all the characters are like running in various forms in one direction as the camera goes boom. And then it all slow-mos in the middle. And then that's just, I was like, Joss, that's too much, Joss. I don't believe this anymore. No. I feel like the problem here is every character does an animation for the camera, not the scene, right?
Yeah.
So they are, they're not actually, that means then that I don't feel like this is a scene.
It's not.
I don't feel like these are events that are happening in the world
Yeah.
because we're seeing it like this. Like, why does she have to come in like that? In which case it was like, because it's cool. But no, she's here to like apparently save her mate. In which case she's not going to do all that.
Why is she hitting the ground? Like, I mean, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, for Blizzard, like, oh, because it's cool. Why not have her come in a cool way? But the problem is the overall piece.
Yeah.
It's like no filmmaker would edit like this.
Yeah, and what the fuck is Rexar doing here? I know he's about, but like, what purpose does he serve? Just, man is here.
Velen!
Here. Why is Velen here? Why is there evokers with him? Why is Moira here? What? Who's that?
Because, Matt,
She's from the next expansion, that's right.
they're trying to make this the end of the expansion. Now, here's the thing. From what I understand, Dragonflight was always planned to be this.
Yeah.
It's just that Dragonflight, I think, wasted so much time in its A plot that when it does try to go really hard, it's just this, not out of nowhere, but like this, but unsupported. And I suppose the people who maybe do like the portal scene in the Avengers, you can at least Steelman that scene. You're like, okay, I get frustrated at some tropes of, the the big CG superhero movies, which mostly just means I kind of wish the visual artists got more time to do their work. Maybe those scenes would come out better if the VFX industry was treated well by Marvel. Yeah. Whereas Marvel are infamously horrible to work for. But noises outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of this is built up. Why is Mora here? Why?
Well, the Moira here for no reason whatsoever. Like
this is too many characters.
Yeah, and that's where like what's Terralion doing here?
Like everyone's here to get a Mirtrasol.
Yeah, why are these two beside each other?
This could be fine if it was set up. How set up is it?
Yeah. Like, and then do you not see all of us?
Not fair, Lucas, Marvel fan here. I would argue. Thank you. It was somewhat earned, given the Age of Ultron felt more like a regathering of the troops than a Guardians of the Dream assemble.
Or Defenders of the Dream, because
Defenders of the Dream.
Because she didn't say Guardians, because that would be a title drop, and they know that we give them shit when they did that for Eternity Set. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to point at this, but it's so easy.
This is embarrassingly bad. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
This was reconstituted by like 10 different people based on notes, but nobody made this.
Yeah.
People made it, but nobody made it. You're like, because if anything like this crossed my desk, I'd be like, no.
Oh yeah, I would immediately access. I would just be like, we go no cinematic. Nah. We go back to the drawing board for this. This doesn't go live.
We just have this happen in game.
Yeah.
And because here's the thing, see all this cringe dialogue? If she had have said that, but you're just controlling your character and
that'd
those
be fine,
people spawn in, it would have been fine. Because the problem here is the camera emphasizes all the goofiness. AI made it maybe? No, this is just...
AI is not capable of being this cringe. Sorry, AI is not that capable of being this unimaginative. Because here's the part that pisses me off more than anything else, right? Look at this scene. See what's there. See what's there in the background flying?
Eternus.
The fucking dragons.
Yeah.
Who are all these fuckers?
Should have been focused to the dragons.
Yeah, it should have been.
Do you know that thing of like, we're going to teleport characters places because it would be cool for them to be there? Like, I know people can move around fast and WoW, but you don't want to break credulity that often.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, right? Okay, so we've broken down barriers in the dream, so Jaina can just teleport into the fucking dream and bring whoever she wants. Like, I know you have to have logic breakdown in your soft magic and stuff like that, but at the same time, like, it was Negative Tigger said their tenure, like, super chat. They also just opened the serious can of worms of teleportation. Why aren't people teleporting every time? It is no cost or difficulty, apparently. And that happens sometimes, right? It just happens where people show up and you're like, all right, I guess we'll just have people teleport in and blow, like, oh, we're having a fight. Okay, Jane is teleported in because one of the most powerful mages on Earth and just, or Azeroth, poof. That is a little bit nitpicky, I will admit. But when they just bring everyone in, you go, what? Cool, sweet. Put some, like, obviously the point is we needed to break the barriers and stuff. But,
yeah.
But what?
I think you can see how
Also, I really want to highlight this. Because I laughed like hell. That's not bad. She's doing stuff. There's all of our people who don't have ranged attacks just standing there in their combat stances. Once Farak flies over here, I'll hit them. Which is kind of cringe. Why did they not have mooks to fight? Not a single shot comes anywhere close to him. Not a single shot comes anywhere close to him.
You all missed.
Yeah.
No one has got hit cap. We ain't even talking about like Farak's below or whatever. This isn't like Farak's defense rating is high. These aren't parries. This is you all missed.
Yeah, and like I get that you can't have maybe you didn't have the ability or the time to animate them all hitting and him blocking it as he jumps. But why do it if you're not going to if this is the end result?
An orange circle around him.
Yeah.
Orange circle done.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Shadow Flame Shield. Yeah, that's exactly all it needs. Instead of Stormtrooper aim. Like him going, I'm outnumbered, I guess I'll go somewhere else makes sense.
And like the thing about this that doesn't make any sense. Like, is Alex Strasser just going to kneel down there and be like, I have friends? And you're like, these friends have 2 seconds to act. And hey, it's a good thing that of all those characters, Thrall has hit cap and was not, the Thrall was able to hit Farak's axe with his axe from that range when apparently magic users cannot even do a yeet. And it's like this, you're like, oh, this is nitpicky. No, it's like if all these things make sense and it's watertight. The problem is it's not watertight. And I actually do think that our media should be watertight. Like as we have moved into, like as I suppose the Marvel and DC slop really started to happen. Because the way it's like the Marvel stuff seemed to be quite carefully considered. And then it seems to have been less and less carefully considered over time. Or even all the people who, the Star Wars TV, so much. Like, I watched some of that Obi-Wan show. Awful! Like, actually, how the hell did you manage to... Like, Andor was good. But, like, other than that, I think Ahsoka people have liked, too. But, like, the way they just had some, like, real... Or even the most recent Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian's just been all over the place. And, you're just like... How do you make these mistakes? Yeah, but you know what? Where it's like fandom has allowed for slop to be okay. Whereas like back when you weren't able to rely on IP, you had to make a watertight movie. Like you only get Die Hard if you're making a fucking watertight movie. You know what I mean? Whereas like this is just low standards. But obviously, patch a ship date. Patch a ship date cannot change. And here's the thing. So many people internally at Blizzard probably think this is embarrassing shite and wish it didn't come out like this. But the problem is...
That better be true.
Oh, better be
true.
true.
God.
It almost certainly is. No, it almost certainly is.
Yeah, I completely trust that. I completely trust that because it's just so... It's a shame is what it is more than anything else. Like, I really... Like, I would... There's... It's the same thing that happens to me every single time something this happens. I can see something that's way easier, way handier that you just do and it's perfectly fine. Like, why did they have this idea of we'll get everybody in and we'll teleport all the people in
Just a really easy
and we'll have them all throw stuff? Why is this not as simple as Farak hits Alexstrasza, takes a couple swings, she's almost about to get hit, but Veranoth steps in at the end and goes, no. And then there's a bit of a 2v1 between them, and that's it.
You will not kill my roommate. Would have been far better.
Yeah,
or even like
or
the player goes,
the other dragons.
Alexstrasza's just like, I will hold off Farak because I'm the big dragon. Could you please open those portals? I won't last long. Player does that. It's all, quite motivated by the player action, and it doesn't feel like you're relying on a bunch of weird circumstance, like the timing of the script. Because you see, when all the stuff lines up that conveniently, it feels forced. That's why this doesn't work, because it feels really forced.
Yeah, because there's like no context in this cinematic for why it's taken to this very last second.
Bro, this is hilarious. This is objectively really funny.
Yeah.
Like Defenders of the Dream!
Yeah, like that. I don't understand why they would put that dialogue in. I don't understand, because I mean... unless it's an attempt, they maybe think they have keynote potential for this and they don't. Because there's a world where, that line lands, but it's not this world. It's not in what they've done here.
But who says Defenders of the Dream?
Yeah. I mean, it could be worse.
But
it could be worse.
All of that character, because the entire of her character is, motherfuckers don't talk like that.
Yeah, she could have waited until he was away and then said, and all of Azeroth were the defenders of the dream all along. But like, there's a version of this where you go and it is, I thought it was Guardians. That's the patch name. They didn't title drop because the title drop would be laughed at harder to me.
As it was
but
in Zerath Mortis.
Yes. Are you still as confident they will nail Anduin's story down in game? Now this is where we get into an interesting question regarding this.
Like, can you believe that this and the Anduin cinematic are from the same company?
And that's a problem where, now this isn't actually fair because I know it's been a little bit debunked, but a lot of people played Dark Souls, went, this shit's horrible, and then played it again in 5 years, went, this shit's the best game I've ever played in my life, oh my god. And then they played Dark Souls 2, and everyone said, Dark Souls 2's dog shit, B team, B team, B team! While A team were off on Bloodborne. And there's a little bit of like, there's clearly some vibes of who's working on The War Within, who's working on Midnight, because there are devs working on Midnight already, like features and stuff, and who's working on this. And it feels to me like there's like one person did this over the course of a week, just 100-hour week, and did this. And that's not true enough there, because there's a lot of work involved. But
this was a script, and then there was the sessions with the actors, to nail all the stuff, and then it comes together. But that's basically the point. When it all feels like it's bits done in isolation by different people with their own sphere of responsibility, like where where it is kind of like a production team or just quite bottom up, and like, I've done my bit, and someone's like, all right, I'll put it together in the engine. That's bad.
Yeah.
Unlike something where it's like, where's the written by Kojima director? Say that Kojima also is sometimes a man for cringe dialogue. It's just that sometimes he completely horseshoes it and, makes holy shit, let's go.
His cringe dialogue lands 9 times out of 10.
That's that is his rare and special power.
It's like you look at Metal Gear Solid 2 and you look at the entire dialogue about Vamp, and you're sat there going, right, here's Vamp, and he like drinks blood, and I think he's Romanian, or something from some Eastern Europe place, and he, obviously he's a vampire. And then it talks about like how he was trapped in a church, and he was like, he had to drink his parents' blood to survive, or his family's blood or something. Then he, all this crime, all this evil life, and he's the villain, and goes, I guess that's why it's called Vamp then. And then without batting a fucking eyelid, I think it's Plitskin says, no, he's called Vamp because he's bisexual. And you're like, what do you mean? That's ridiculous. He's clearly a vampire. And everyone goes, no, that's great, actually. That's really funny. And that's dumb as hell, but like, this kind of works where the whole thing works because of a variety of reasons. But over here, you're like, none of this lands at all. And it's not for the lack of trying. It's just that I don't know why they go.
But she's like, I conveniently planned to say that I'm not alone right in time for all of my allies from across the whole world to appear. Allies such as Moira and Velen, who have played large roles in this expansion.
Like, grand. Why not? Why did you not stick to Holy Dragonflight characters? Obviously Lillian's here is fine. But like, what are they doing here? Is it just pure fan service? Why is Trallian here? He's got a sword. No, he does actually.
No, he throws
he does fire a light bolt.
He shoots a bead off.
Yeah, which is weird because he's not even.
What's going on?
Because that's not even where they all are when they land in.
Yeah, but why is he here?
Because all of Azeroth stands united against you.
But when did we call him?
Because all of Azeroth stands united against
and
you.
And we're like, hello, King of Stormwind, King Regent, whatever.
Yeah, so here's the point that bugs me most of anything. Because you can have shitty execution, and sometimes you can't deal with that. Especially under pressure and under stuff like that. It's like, why was this not about the dragons? I was, because Amir Drasil is so important to the dream, and the dream is important to Azeroth. And you go, this is fucking Dragonflight. Finish the story of Dragonflight. You've got the dragons there. Why was it not just dragons showing up and going, all right, here we go.
What if Marithra saves her?
Yeah.
And just have it be a moment for Marithra's character, because we haven't had enough of Marithra.
To be fair, Marithra does play a pretty major part in the questing this. Absolutely. Like I actually, from what I did on PTR, she does a great job of being actually in there.
Like, why? Just why this?
Yeah. Why? And that's the point. It's like, why? Is there any druid there or a night elf? No.
The problem
they're all busy.
In this situation, like, why does a druid not try to grab him with entangling dudes? Why does Thrall not try to Garrosh him? Why does Jaina not try to do an icy thing? Because, Jaina can obviously do spells that originate at the target's location rather than being a projectile. Why? Because that's the problem whenever you make it a situation like this. The reader or viewer or whatever, it's like those scenes where it's like, why did the villain not kill the hero? And then people are like, so the movie can happen. But that's bad if you're asking that question, because then the hero's escape doesn't feel like well earned, it feels forced, and then that doesn't belong to your hero anymore, which means that if it's say traditional, hero's journey thing, they've been robbed of part of their journey, which means they will not land as well and in further parts of that journey. Like, because I am not alone. This should happen after it has been proved by people coming to her aid in a way that she does not expect.
Yeah, because this is, even if you think about it in terms of how actions flow in a script, right? He goes, the Dragon Queen dies alone, and then raises that. And then, why does he give her time to say, I am not alone? Why is he not just, the Dragon Queen dies alone? Like, there. And then between that cut of him raising it, you hear the sound effect. Maybe you hear maybe you see one of the slices from the Maiev Night Elf thing cinematic, one of those Legion ones. And then you hear a clink, and it's, oh, something stopped it. And God knows what it is, but it's something else. Maybe it's another dragon's claw. Maybe it is literally like, maybe the axe blocks it. Anything else. But it's just literally anything except he also doesn't even get to swing at her.
Yeah, because any of those things, like, why is she in visage mode? They're like, everyone's like, so she can act and talk and you can understand. But like, why does she not stay as a dragon? She's a dragon. Yeah. I think it's cool my dragons are dragons.
Because they gave him the axe, and the axe is cool, so he has to use the axe.
Yeah, so certainly I am surprised that was as weakly put together as you said. For sure. That's really pretty childish, pretty basic. This is, this is like first year. This is like a first year animation error of like, the basics of like, because not only is this the execution that's bad, it's also the idea.
And that's the part that bugs me.
That's the worrying part, because the ideas are easy.
Under what duress was this made? And this is where I'm going to take a little away from, they're shit at their job, and into a more, what circumstances are they under that this is why they do this?
Yeah, why is the rough cut the thing that came out?
Yeah, why is the mediocre idea and the poor execution what was released? What's wrong with production that the people who are making this are either incapable, which I'm assuming they're not, because I think most people are capable of substantially better, or at least I'd like to hope so. Under what circumstances is this what's happening?
Matt,
in the same week that they're at BlizzCon saying, here's the beautiful future of World of Warcraft, trust the vision, trust the clan, which I still do.
Yeah. No,
I still
company's
trust
too
that.
big. Company's too big. Patch comes out 7th of November, remember? And so for them, it's going to be, this bit isn't ready. Our release date's the 7th. What do we do? And then, because everyone probably knows this is weak at the company. Like, everyone who's not deluded is going to know that this is a pretty weak final product. But also likely know that if they had another few weeks, they could iterate. And, because you take an internal feedback session, everything we said should have been caught when this was story. Anyway, everything that we've said, probably did come up in an internal feedback or whatever.
Caught 9 months ago. And
but then the problem is the producer's like, sorry, we don't have time.
Yeah.
You're all allocated for this thing next week. There's just not time. Mm-hmm. In which case, do you delay the patch so that this can be good? Because then you have, I don't know, a team of 20 people or 10 people have just delayed a team of 100. These are not real numbers. These are illustrative numbers. What do you do in that case when everything else is ready to go, but the cinematic probably needs some work?